Imagine selling your home in the United States, packing your bags, and moving across the Atlantic to start a new life in Portugal. For thousands of Americans, this is no longer just a dream. Over the past few years, Portugal has become one of the most popular destinations for Americans looking for a better lifestyle, lower costs, and a slower pace of life. Beautiful coastal towns, historic cities, friendly locals, and sunny weather make Portugal look like the perfect escape. But behind the stunning beaches and charming streets, some Americans have discovered that life in Portugal isn't always as easy as it appears online. While many expats absolutely love living there, others have quietly admitted that the move came with unexpected challenges they didn't see coming. In this video, we're going to explore the reality behind the dream. Why are so many Americans moving to Portugal in the first place? What attracts them to this small European country on the edge of the Atlantic? And more importantly, why do some of them end up regretting the decision after making the move? Let's start with the reason Portugal became such a powerful magnet for American expats. One of the biggest factors is the cost of living. Compared to many cities in the United States, Portugal can feel surprisingly affordable. In many parts of the country, especially outside Lisbon, Americans can enjoy a comfortable lifestyle for a fraction of what they would spend back home. Housing, food, healthcare, and transportation are often cheaper than in major American cities. A couple can often live well on a modest monthly budget while enjoying restaurants, ocean views, and a relaxed Mediterranean lifestyle. Then there's the safety factor. Portugal consistently ranks as one of the safest countries in the world. Violent crime is extremely rare, and many Americans feel a sense of peace walking through Portuguese cities and towns, even late at night. Another reason Americans are drawn to Portugal is the climate. With over 300 days of sunshine in many regions, the country offers a warm and pleasant environment that feels very different from colder parts of the United States. And of course, there's the lifestyle itself. Portugal moves at a slower rhythm. Long lunches, evening walks along the waterfront, and a strong culture of family and community make the country feel refreshing to people coming from fast-paced American cities. But while all of this sounds perfect, the reality of living abroad can sometimes be very different from visiting as a tourist. In fact, some Americans who moved to Portugal expecting a paradise quickly discovered that certain parts of life there can be surprisingly frustrating. And in the next part, we'll look at the first major challenge that often catches new American expats completely off guard. One of the first surprises many Americans encounter after moving to Portugal is the pace of everyday life. While the relaxed lifestyle is one of the reasons people move there, it can also become a source of frustration. Things simply don't move as quickly as they do in the United States. Simple tasks like opening a bank account, registering for residency, or setting up utilities can sometimes take much longer than expected. Paperwork is often required for almost everything, and dealing with government offices can involve long waiting times and multiple visits. For Americans who are used to fast service and efficient systems, this slower pace can feel overwhelming. What might take a few minutes in the United States could take days or even weeks in Portugal. Some expats describe it as learning to live on what locals jokingly call Portuguese time. Another challenge that surprises many Americans is the language barrier. Although English is widely spoken in major cities like Lisbon and Porto, especially among younger people, it is not always guaranteed everywhere. In smaller towns and rural areas, daily life often requires at least some knowledge of Portuguese. Simple activities like visiting a doctor, dealing with paperwork, or communicating with local services can become difficult if you don't understand the language. Some Americans who expected to rely entirely on English quickly realize that learning Portuguese becomes almost essential. Housing is another area where expectations don't always match reality. Over the past few years, Portugal has experienced a huge increase in foreign residents. tourists, and digital nomads. As a result, housing prices in certain areas, especially Lisbon, Porto, and parts of the Algarve, have increased dramatically. Many Americans arrive expecting extremely cheap housing based on old information they saw online. But in some of the most popular cities, rents have risen quickly, and finding a good apartment can be more difficult than expected. Then there's the healthcare system. Portugal actually has a very good public healthcare system, and many expats are satisfied with it. However, the process of registering for healthcare and navigating the system can sometimes feel confusing. At first, appointments can take longer to schedule than in the United States, and understanding how the system works requires patience and adaptation. For some Americans, these adjustments are simply part of the adventure of living abroad. But for others, these daily challenges slowly build up over time. And that's when some expats begin to question whether moving to Portugal was really the perfect decision they imagined. In the final part, we'll explore the deeper reasons why a small number of Americans ultimately decide that Portugal might not be the right place for them after all. Beyond the practical challenges of paperwork, language, and housing, there are deeper lifestyle differences that some Americans struggle to adjust to after moving to Portugal. Living in another country means adapting not only to a new environment, but also to a completely different culture and way of thinking. One of the biggest adjustments is the difference in work culture and services. In Portugal, many businesses close earlier than Americans might expect. Shops may shut down in the evening, and some small businesses even close for long lunch breaks during the day. On weekends and holidays, services can be limited. For Americans coming from cities where almost everything is available 24 hours a day, this can feel inconvenient at first. Over time, many people grow to appreciate the slower pace, but others find it difficult to adapt. Another factor that sometimes surprises Americans is the difference in salaries and job opportunities. Portugal is known for its relatively low wages compared to other Western countries. While the cost of living can be lower, local salaries are also significantly smaller. For Americans who plan to work locally instead of earning income remotely, this can be a major challenge. Many expats quickly realize that maintaining an American-based income, remote job, or retirement savings makes living in Portugal much easier. Social adjustment can also take time. Portuguese people are generally friendly and welcoming, but building deep friendships can take longer than some expats expect. Cultural habits, traditions, and communication styles can be different from what Americans are used to. However, it's important to remember that despite these challenges, thousands of Americans are still happily living in Portugal today. For many people, the benefits outweigh the difficulties. The safety, natural beauty, slower lifestyle, and sense of balance that Portugal offers are things that many expats say they would never want to give up. In the end, whether someone regrets moving to Portugal often depends on their expectations before they arrive. Those who come prepared to adapt, learn the language, and embrace a different pace of life often find the experience incredibly rewarding. Portugal may not be perfect for everyone, but for many Americans searching for a new chapter in life, it still represents one of the most attractive destinations in Europe. And the real question might not be why some Americans regret moving to Portugal, but why so many others continue choosing to move there every single year.